They say men are from Mars and women are from Venus, but me think that divide wide enough to talk about the gap between us. Rabs, bacchanal and contention, we have all of that in the session. Let we talk man and woman thing, warriors, jamets, queens and kings. We are sure if men are from Mars and women are from Venus. A little comments on a Friday. Jaiga, Raw, Roddy versus Abby. 3 man and 1 jamet from South. That is what we talking about.
This is where we fight!
The battle is on. Mars versus Venus.
Top of the morning, excuse my tardiness.
Top of the morning. It's 9 past 8.
Top of the morning, please excuse my tardiness.
Tardiness nothing. What time in the phone?
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. What matters is I'm here now.
Yeah,
that doesn't matter.
I kept the
That
faith.
doesn't matter. What matters is I'm here now. Hey, what I say top of the morning, guys. This is Mars versus Venus. I have a beautiful topic for you guys today. One that I feel we should all get comfortable speaking about. I see no problem in having conversations about things like these. Mm-hmm. And where we're all going with the other part, boy. Why are you doing that?
Because you gave him an assignment, so he went to complete the assignment.
Yeah, but it's a twofold.
Okay, well, start the first part. Introduce the first part.
Where is it though?
The other side.
All right, got it. All right. This has been, I guess, a way of life forever. Can I safely say that?
Yeah, remind me. Sorry. Yes, remind me. Set it up.
A question has been asked. They say it's funny how a broke guy doesn't deserve love, but a broke girl does.
That you set up, does it?
No, I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there.
You're letting it kusu.
Yeah. For those of you, let me just basically. The world in all its splendor has made it so that there is no, well, now we're talking conversations about no gender bias and so on.
John, you see when you start that? You see when you get into that tone? You just start to make me itch. My ears start to hurt me more all of a sudden and so on.
We grew up seeing it in all the movies. We've been really programmed to understand that that's just how it has to be. That a young man who may have stumbled on some financial downfalls and shortcomings is not allowed to be loved only by a mother or maybe father, not by a pair.
Maybe not even necessarily by them either, because they might put them out.
You understand? There are also people out there who their articles, their posts all over the social space appealing to young men. If you do not have financial stability,
you can't love without money.
do not at any time even wink, smile, wave, brusque.
You can't make love on hungry belly.
A young woman. So we here asking, should this continue? Or should we break that curse?
You're looking for horn.
Or should we break that curse in this new world?
Plenty horn, boy. You ain't have no money. You ain't walking no way. You ain't have no payday. You think it's joke. Ba-na-na-na-na.
It's been programmed into us through music, through magazines, through commercials and television, telling men do not look in the direction of a woman if you
What are you doing?
What are you doing if you do not have financial stability?
Beautiful, sir. Beautiful.
But on the flip side, if you are a young lady, mid-30s, happen to fall on some hard times in a, I wouldn't say dead end, but in a very mediocre type job scenario, where your job can basically only facilitate the bare minimum, meaning your monthly needs, such as food, sustenance, not necessarily coverance, meaning
sustenance but not coverance. I can't stand you. I cannot stand you.
Sustenance, not covenants. For those of you who don't understand what that means, covenants means you cannot afford a place of abode.
Sustenance, not coverance.
Yeah.
So you could eat, but
you can eat.
You might be sleeping by a friend.
Correct.
Don't make me laugh now when I laugh.
You understand? No. And I don't want you guys to lose me here. I'm not even trying to be funny. Right?
We understand you. Yes.
But in that case, you sit and you walk with an awe of
An aura of
privilege.
Oh wow.
Where you believe
He went there. I just wanted to know that words mean things, huh?
that you believe in that position, you are indeed entitled
Ooh, you said privilege and entitled in the same sentence. Carry on.
to be taken out. Because if said man, boy, guy, dude, smiles in your direction, he's now obligated to make sure that the covenants.
You're not even talking about taking out. You're talking about, because the premise you've set up is deserving of love, right? Deserving of love, deserving of a long-term relationship, So we're not even talking about dating. We move past that. We're talking about financial and economic status / stability within the context of relationships.
Yeah, and obviously at some point, people fall in love fast when things can change, Because if I'm hungry and broken and I see you at things, I love you. Let me know bottom the thing, Harvey. If I'm hungry and broken and you have something, I am in love with you. I love you. From the moment you said hello, I'm in love.
You're a fool.
From the moment you said hello, I am in love.
Is it you you're looking for? Yes.
Yes, it
is.
I'm looking for you. Because, as you know, subconsciously, everybody wants covenants.
I mean, covenants is actually a basic human right,
It is.
It's a basic human right.
It is. It's a basic human right that a human should make sure and get.
So what I'll say, right, is the thing is that there's actually a lot. The way you broke it down in very layman terms is lovely, because this is a conversation that has been happening for a very long time in various academic circles with a lot of academic jargon and social context and all that wonderful stuff. But it comes back to those C words in terms of the systems and the structures that we've been brought up in terms of
Vanessa.
she choosing violence. We coming to Vanessa, please hold. We coming just now, we swear we coming. But Western civilizations in particular, post-enlightenment, the Enlightenment was the age when the ups and the side, it have other places in the world we should go conquer and take their things. They called it the Enlightenment. They went all over the world and whatnot. And they brought with them their Western ideologies that placed men in a particular position and placed women in a particular position. That's across the board.
And this was 17
And this was the age
when?
of 16 something.
Right.
Right.
All right, nice.
That's when things start, and that's across the board. But then we're talking about intersectionality now, which is where the thing literally start to intersplunks, favorite word, with other historical contexts like enslavement, etc., and how we commodified certain bodies. So we commodified certain bodies, period, across the board, both men and women in particular demographics. that would have intersected with that colonial experience in different ways. You had enslavement, you had indentureship, etc. But when we understand what the plantation did and who was at the bottom of the rung, I get in there, and who was at the bottom of the rung, there was one particular demographic for whom it became even worse. It became even worse in terms of the power and the economic power dynamic between men and women of particular demographics. And of course, we speak from our lived experience. We have the historical context of other people's experiences, but we're talking about we lived experiences. So when we understand that, it is, and this is why a man like Shadow was a man even before his time. When he wrote songs like "Looking for Horn," in terms of setting it up and explaining it, if it is you don't have your things,
you don't deserve nothing.
You don't bother to go and look for things because you will get your heart broken. And the sad thing is that for us as black women, we have attached and continue to attach commodification as a means of how we value our interpersonal relationships, how we value men, how we interact, etc.
Love the use of some brilliant words from the university student, aka what she's saying is, fellas, if you're hungry and broken, right? If you're hungry and broken, you don't stand.
What I will say is, though, a community is not a monolith. So while we understand that is an overarching historical thing that we have to come to terms with, a social and cultural thing that we have to come to terms with, and we also talk about it in terms of parent and children dynamic too, in terms of deserving of love, deserving of grace, deserving of space and ease. It's a thing we have to talk about. But what I will say is, as we have moved away from certain ideologies.
Have we though?
We've begun.
We've
begun to move away from certain ideologies. That the conversation is slowly beginning to change.
So we can say the statement of women love with a condition.
With conditionalities. Well, let's think about the reason why sometimes women love with conditionalities. In terms of the actual physical, mental, and emotional danger that they can be placed in if they don't navigate the world with certain conditionalities.
Papa. Okay.
Yes?
So all alone bright and we shopping. Okay.
Wow! You're making my ears hurt more. How we reach there?
Because we must not operate in that same space. We could just
but me never say that.
We could just see a woman and find she is
Trinidad, did I say that? I never said that.
And
what I said is, when we having these conversations, there must be context. There must be context. Because it's very easy to say, this is the way man is, this is the way woman is. But why? I'm always interested in the why. Why are we the way we are?
Who's this Shannon?
What Shannon say? Come. Tell me what Shannon say.
Broke men don't deserve no pain. Don't try and change the system now. All they don't deserve nothing. Vanessa is saying because Adam was supposed to provide for Eve.
Really?
Yeah. You understand? Not
so
Eve provide for women.
what about those who don't believe in the whole Adam and Eve thing? Where that leave we?
And it's not only about
providing.
It's not about providing only though. That's the thing. When we think broke, a lot of the times we run down the road of financial. Right? And in the context when I see broke, it's not always about money.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Because it's a mind construct, because it's about what you want for yourself. Mm-hmm. In terms of a woman, I am heavily broken in somebody's eyes. I cannot give them, because there's some people, I was having this conversation this week, there's some people, Abby, who, to them, a regular weekend is, let's say, eating croissants in Paris.
Right.
On the whim. They don't know anything else.
So broke for them might be a BMW and wealthy might be a high. Right, gotcha. Honestly, yes, it is about perspective. It's about perspective. It's about perspective.
So that's why I'm saying it's about what the person on the other side wants for themselves.
Indeed.
Because you can have it because a young man right now. Let's talk in the now space. Look, I remember I spoke about the young man I went to do the thing for last week Friday.
Yes.
27-year-old. In the eyes of society and on paper,
he have his things.
He have his things put together.
Yes.
Young man at 27, own his own home, has a good job, all the things. There's a girl what she like.
And still find he broken.
Still find young.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's about what you want from the other side. But for today's conversation and the way all these callers and these messages are coming.
Broke man don't deserve nothing. But why is he broke? And who are you talking about when you're talking about the broke? We had to be specific, Is one demographic more prone to brokenness than another? And why? And then,
morning, guys. Morning. So I'm listening to this topic this morning here. And I'm real sorry to say it, but if all that is the case, I'm looking for home and all these things, good, the living accommodations and all these things. Why so much chirps? And I'm only saying chirps just because you put yourself in that position, or you're making churn for these nobodies, these broke, begging fellas. Why?
Because
that was a circumstance. That was a night of our boat ride. You can't blame her for that.
Because at the end of the day, humans are
humans will human.
Humans will human, and when we say that, humans are not made to exist in solitude. There are some of us that do extremely well in solitude, but we are communal. We need people. We need human contact, etc. And
most times.
And people, it is terrible to think that we would live in a system that will tell us and that has told us that we're not worthy of that kind of contact, that connection. If it is, you have no money in your pocket. But so as a result, people who are in positions of poorness does cohabitate, do the conjugals, and they just make children.
They do.
And
there are periods in everybody's
Isn't that all right?
life. There are downtimes in everybody's life. Right. There are a period where, as you say, the isolation, the solitude is fine. Like, you can do it for a while, and then you have to also now bring into the conversations people's mental state, different periods of their life. You can meet a woman and you say, well, how could you, you pay yourself with somebody in a moment? She might have had a lapse in judgment, and being vulnerable in that state, that person in that immediate time. And people have to understand time is something, we force ourselves into believing that you have to be in this big long-term stable something to allow yourself to. No, it don't work so.
Sometimes you meet somebody today and
you could meet somebody today and in a whirlwind of emotions in 30 days.
You sit down on them.
Exactly. And look, Beyonce now tell her.
She said, can I sit on top of you?
You understand? And in that moment, a child.
But she also said it must be the cash because it ain't your face, eh? She said that in another song.
Wow, she's talking to her husband clearly, but that is a whole different conversation.
She also said that.
She's talking about her husband. But yeah, what I'm saying is it could happen. So let us not judge people based on those things.
And let us also stop feeling collectively punishing people for being human.
Decision.
And not bad decisions. We like to punish demographics too in terms of, it's also about access of information. But apart from that, people are allowed to look for joy in physical ways.
Wherever they get.
And sex is not only about procreation, eh? Sometimes sex is just about
enjoyment.
And
in the enjoyment, sometimes
surrenders come.
That's what it is.
And we need to stop punishing people for that. Stop punishing people for that.
It's a beautiful, beautiful enjoyment.
Yeah, stop punishing people for that. And
let's not stop being taboo about it and try to talk about it and chew it and that. Yeah. All you damn well know is enjoy it.
Okay.
All you know, somebody craziest thing I do. How much time will they leave all the house out hang out? The boy, that man walk through flood water.
How much for sure? How much for sure? How much shagaramas?
Come on, all they do all kind of things. How much pipe all they went by? Nikki went on that door cob.
Oh wow. I need to message my sis.
She did. She went on that door cob. On a galvanized top door cob too. You do it wherever you can, whenever you
burn up your
can.
bumsy and galvanize.
Come on, guys. Let's not do that.
So don't do that.
Good morning. Abiola Jackson.
Abeo.
You just remind me so much of my fiancé. You will tell me all how and carry me all down the road just to tell me, no, honey, you cannot take that money and buy that. No, the answer is
but
no.
I explained it though. I did.
You're good. I feel I went to the same school. Abi, at me and you know.
Me no really back up Jags and thing, Jags, that, let me be honest. But you see today, Jags going hard. Yeah. Go. Fight that fight there for me, please, Jags. Thank you. Bless. Abby.
Yes, love.
Stop it.
Bless.
What I do? Me do nothing.
Ooh, this one long, man.
I insist on
Good morning, breakfast party. It's Millie from the Netherlands.
Hey, Millie.
I like to send out a special good morning to Abeo.
Hello, baby.
And concerning the topic of the day, I would say both men and women should have themselves together and be making enough money to like at least support themselves and have a little bit more to support a child or two, before they decide to, have children in the first place. So I would say even as a woman, you should have it
Of course.
together enough, to support a child. So in case if the marriage goes south, you could always rely on yourself, So that's my opinion about it. But yeah, on both sides, I think before having children, before going to a long-term relationship, you should really be getting yourself positioned to be able to be in a relationship.
All right.
Abiyo,
Yes,
is he
love.
there in the same clothes? Is he there in the same clothes? Is he in the same clothes as yesterday? Abiyo, is he there in the same clothes? In that same clothes as
You know what?
yesterday?
Oh, you turn a singer.
I don't even know.
Oh, you turn a
I
singer,
just have
brother.
I have two questions. Now we're talking in ideals. The ideal is that we both have it together. We have a plan. This is what we're going to do. We get married. We're going to have 2 children. We're going to have a nest egg before. That's the ideal. That's the ideal. What of people who don't have those luxuries? Because we're speaking here from positions of, you used it earlier, privilege.
Yeah,
That's a
positions
privilege.
of privilege.
Are we saying that people who don't have it together for myriads of reasons, there are
Should not-
myriads.
should not
Are
be
we
loved?
saying that they shouldn't be loved? That them need to just sit down and watch TV?
We need to rope it back into the base of the questions, guys. We're speaking, that's what we're talking about. Don't stray too much into children and
No.
marriage and all of that.
So
We're
them
talking
don't
about-
deserve love. Them supposed to just sit down and watch the wall.
This is what I'm asking.
Both men and women. And then the second question is, so we framing it such that women love, you're saying that women in this context of economics and finances, we love conditionally. If you have no money, love is off the table. That's what we're saying, right? Okay. Don't men love conditionally as well? Don't you all have certain conditionalities that are also linked to
Finances.
social and other social constructs, etc.?
What I would say, and this is just basic.
Does one cancel out the other?
Kind of. And let me tell you why. When women
Please tell me what women do, please.
in a circle,
Yes. When in your wealth of experience of being a woman in a circle.
yeah, in my wealth of experience being around a lot of women in a lot of circles, I will say that. My potassium level is very, very high.
Oh my God.
All right? And I can
my
bring documents to
God.
prove it's very high. And because of that, I understand that if women are in a circle, let's pick an example like at the hairdressing salon, doing hair and so on, nails and so on. Right?
And so on. I can't stand you.
And one comes in, oh my God, Beverly, look.
First
Who's
of all,
that?
Beverly.
Who's that?
So she's in her 40s, clearly.
Well, because her name is Beverly.
Yes.
Wow.
She's in her 40s or her 50s because her name is Beverly.
Wow.
Carry on.
Okay. I didn't say that. I meant she could be in her 20s. Right?
Right.
Look at this. Who is that? Marcus. It's Marcus. And they pull out the phone and start to show everybody in the shop. Marcus. Marcus. And a regular pic of Marcus, maybe playing ball or whatever. Oh my God. Where Marcus working?
That's the first question. Where's Marcus working?
Marcus working, girl. Look. Marcus looking good. Where you working?
What he's do?
What you just do? Where you driving?
I don't ask what you're driving. I will ask what you do, though.
What you do? Where you working?
I do ask what you do. And not for finances. I ask what you do because I want to know if
Oh.
we
not
could
for-
be. It is not for
It's not
finances.
for finances, it's just
It's
what
to
you-
know. One, what you do will tell me the circles that you keep and probably give me an inkling, unless you're like an absolute unicorn.
All right, here the answer.
An inkling into where your mental
Okay,
is.
here the answer. He's working away right now.
Okay, all right, he's in between gigs.
He's
Cool.
in-
But what does he do?
I'm not too sure.
Okay, well then she's the wrong person to be talking to because I want to know what he's doing.
Right. fellas in the barbershop now, the flip side of that, shows Tasha.
Right.
Many barbershop, oh good, we fight. We mean to right? Hey, sure, not one man there going and ask what the hell Tasha does do.
Okay.
We don't care.
But they're watching other things about Tasha though.
Tasha is pleasing on the eyes, maybe. You understand? Somebody like me might ask things like, like...
She a trend.
Yeah, you might ask if she a trend. And if she does, you want to know who's the father. Because that could kind of sometimes, and that's something to that I've learned over here, that you can't really judge a woman on the choice she made with who she procreated with, right? Because sometimes, as we just explained, it happens.
So it's a conditionality.
So you can't really say she ain't one because she made a bad.
It's a conditionality. Everybody has conditions that they attach.
With men, it never goes down the road of what you have. It doesn't. And it's because
it never does?
It doesn't. And we've been conditioned to understand that it is your responsibility, if you want to be in a position with this person. In case of shortcomings, you have to be the shortfall. Right? You have to be that person. And it's be just conditioned that way. So now the question in the space of now, what the Gen Z men are asking is, so I have to only have this in order. So we just can't.
We can have love.
We can't love.
But it's an age-old conversation. This is not just Gen Z. It's manifested in a new and different way. But as we say, all these people who have archived questions about if people in this context, fine, men are worthy of love if they don't have the things. And it's a historical thing. It's a historical construct, right?
But for me,
there are people holding on to a historical book as doctrine, and inside of there it was women having a particular place and men having a particular place, and you still have men using terms like and women using terms like submission and all them kind of things.
And let me throw this in the free, right?
So who fault it is?
Respect has a lot to do with it too, right? And when I say respect, I mean from the point of, can a woman respect a man that doesn't make as much as she does?
Okay, and if she can't, why? Or if he feels as though she doesn't, why? It's always about the why.
Yeah, but the why we know comes from, because it comes from things that she was told and taught and believe in herself, that in her mind that, she can't.
Conversation.
She can't because it just shouldn't be that way. But there are men who can be respected, and we've been seeing it more and more, if they're in a position where they're not as financially advanced as their significant other. And it can work. That's the thing, We operate in a space and believe as though it can't, but it can work. We've been seeing it working.
Who feel it can't?
A lot of people have it.
A lot like who?
All these women on the thing here don't saying that they want no man.
Play more voice notes. Since it's all these women, let me hear.
They're saying they don't want it.
Is to leave these broke men right where they are.
Thank
because
you.
They are coming to stress you about them being broke, and they are not going to add any value to your life but headache and stress.
Okay. Play another one.
That is not necessarily true.
Not necessarily, but clearly she's speaking from a position of
Good morning,
experience.
Breakfast by Lillian here in San Diego. What is the definition of broke? Because your definition of broke and my definition of broke could be
different. I said
things. My definition of broke could be I'm just frugal, I'm not wasting my money on frivolous things. But your definition of broke is you don't see me balling out of control, going here, there, and everywhere. Some people just define broke in so many different ways. But people just think broke is that you just look broken and hungry, where somebody could generally be like, okay, I have my money and I'm going to be responsible.
That's fair.
Good morning, breakfast party. My contribution will be short and simple today. I believe you just meet people at different stages in their life. Sometimes they might be up, they might be down, sometimes they're working towards something. But you must be able to differentiate from the brother who still dreaming and we're doing this, and we really don't have a goal. We're just saying, well, this is what we're working towards, and we're not seeing the action. So there's a difference.
I'm the action man. You must have a plan.
I think that's what people want to see in each other. And speaking from a woman's perspective, I think that is what a lot of women want to see. We want to see a plan. You want to see a plan. So as she said, you meet people at different points.
You want to see which plan? A we plan? A him plan or your plan?
If it is, maybe I want to see all the plans.
Right.
Maybe I want to see all the plans. If it is, we decide, okay, we meet, the physical attraction is definitely there. We have fun, we laugh, Great.
Give.
Yes.
Ronnie Savannah
It's
holding hands.
Give whole day. And we holding
Drink out
hands
the
and
same
squeezing up
straw.
the bum. See, and yes, lovely.
out the same straw.
Great. Right. So I say, all right, I like this person enough that I actually want to be around them on a regular basis, like permanently. Right. That means certain, as we always say, conversations have to happen. And this is where the planning comes in. Because I want to know if it is we're going into something long term, am I inheriting your debt? That's one. Or maybe it's not about inheriting debt. Maybe it is we both have little small businesses that we've been doing. Are we going to make that a big thing? Are we going to maybe consolidate it together? Do we have separate finance? Like, what is the plan?
Figure out who plan is better
Right.
than who.
Am I coming in with generational wealth? As in, my grandmother leave her house to me, so we good day.
Right. We know that to study.
Or your father leave something for you, so we good there. Or maybe we both have things. What are we bringing into this space? Those are conversations we have to have.
Yeah.
Or maybe neither of us have anything. Maybe both of us come from extremely humble beginnings, but we've always been hard workers and always been dreamers. What is the plan? I want a plan. If it is we having this conversation, you have no plan, like I'm talking to you and your eyes glazing over, well, then we have a problem. You know?
Vanessa real shooting hard today,
What
but
she
she
say?
said, Abi, oh God, you're going too deep. Who cares about the why? Abi, you know, you know you're not going to be with nobody who is not on your level, oh God.
Who cares about the why?
Who broke and hurtly them day? Wow.
She has simplified it. She has made it very simple. And
Vanessa, God is watching us from a distance.
Vanessa, that is her choice, girl, and I am not mad at you. She know what she wants. I'm not
say
vexed
all
with
that
her.
why and why nothing.
Nothing.
You broke and hungry, that's your business. I don't know part of that.
And Abby, to go back to the area that you were speaking of with those colonials, you remember that to get married, if a female did not have a dowry, i.e. if she didn't have a certain amount of money to go into a marriage, she would have been deemed unmarriageable and undeserving of love.
Dowry.
So it really started with females needed to have their things first to get married before it even switched
Actually,
to if a man don't have things we don't want.
It was actually females' parents, though. Your parents
Women's
have to,
parents,
had
you
to
had
have
to-
things in
because
order
it's
for
like-
them to marry.
yeah.
You physically didn't have
You
to
had
have it. You had to come from a
marry
family with
into
it.
it. Yes.
Oh,
So
wow,
money
how I
has
miss
always
those days.
marriage where you get 3 cow, a flock of sheep.
Oh, I miss those days.
Oh, you miss those days when women were subjugated and had no rights. Oh, must be fun.
Yeah,
to
hear
miss
you,
those
hear you,
days.
hear you. I'm not talking about the have no
Must
rights.
be fun.
I'm talking about the days of
Oh.
when your mother and father
Where we could
things.
selectively pick parts of history to go back to.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love the 1950s. Oh, you mean the times when black people were considered
Nah,
like
no,
3/4 of a
they're
person?
not going to permit it. They're not
Uh-huh.
going to permit it. I'm not speaking about that.
No, I'm just using it hypothetically.
No, I'm
when
not
we,
speaking
it's
about
be
that.
interesting to hear people say, "I miss those days." To talk about going back to the good old days.
It's like even now, like for instance, but just what she said. We back in the day, it was about the bride's father taking care of the
having
responsibilities
things,
of the wedding.
but
right?
he wasn't picking no poor
No, but I'm just saying
fella
that's
either.
how it was.
You had to have money
No,
too coming
that's
into the
done,
thing.
you know.
You had to have money coming into
Yeah, but
the
that's
thing.
not how it is now. No, you tell a girl you want to get married, you got to figure it out. You got to figure it out. She sister, she mother, them coming to drink and eat.
Have to unless you have a conversation.
She sister, she mother, she brother, them coming in.
If you have a conversation, you don't have to.
Mom, they are coming to Lamb and Jam. You went down on your knee.
What I know, me don't know nothing. Me
I
don't
hear
have-
girls saying, but he went down on his knee. I never asked him to go down.
You're right. I don't know nothing. Let me hush. I did not have a reality TV wedding, so let me hush.
Wow.
Listen, if I so bothered and up in arms about you being broke, it must mean that I myself specifically, individually, don't have my things together. So I probably need to focus on getting my things before I focus on having an us in the first place. Because if he broke, you're not supposed to be so deeply impacted that it is a determining factor as to whether or not you all could be together. Why he's broke? Let me talk about why he's broke. Why he's broke? If he's broke because he has responsibilities, or he's broke because he's studying and he paying back loans and things like that, we could work with it because that's a temporary broke anyway. If he's broke because he like flashy thing but he fridge empty, or he broke because it have an indentation of him in the couch, that's different. I want no part. Look to press. Don't stop here. Other than that, I can work with you. I can help you.
I hear that.
No, but the thing is, Lily, I hear you, but at the same time, there are a lot of people who have hang-ups on brokenness, particularly in terms of when we're talking about social currency, upward mobility. There are certain people and certain families that will not align themselves to perceived brokenness.
So how about I broke?
So it's not that she don't have her things together.
How about I broke because I take all my money and put it in a susu and the admin just duck me and duck my cream and
Tell the admin. That's not my business.
How about if I take all my thing, right, and I really
You
put
put
it in,
your
I put it in a susu and I lost my
that's
thing.
not susu, so we probably wouldn't be talking because you call it susu and it's not a susu.
We cannot be faulted as women for getting relevant information, because if a friend is talking about a guy who they think has potential, they will usually say, hey, you know, Derek working, so, yeah, not sure. Nice man. He exposed so you will get proper intel. Men in the barbershop always studying with the lower extremities of the body.
Hey.
You know, most times. So we cannot be faulted that you are not surrounded by people who are seeking your interest like that. Get it together.
Lovely.
And then we have to know that life happens. So like I have a friend, he was working metal, and when he got let go, he was unemployed for a while. It's not that he wasn't ambitious or anything, that's just how life went for him. And it's not that he's not a good man.
Exactly.
Yeah. I love that. Not that he's a good, he's with metal and he got sent home and he has ambition. So in other words, you just starting up an investment. You going into a relationship with hope that he will catch back because he had before. So you going in there with hope. It's like a gamble.
Ladies do not date potential. I has fed up to people
making an investment based on because you watching bottom line.
But a relationship is an investment, right? It would be so disingenuous of us to say that a relationship isn't an investment. And yes, financials ends up in there because you're thinking about legacy, especially if it is you want to leave something for your children. Let's be honest.
Yeah, so
why
are we running so far from just the human side of it though? The fact that somebody could be just a beautiful human being.
No, you're absolutely right. But
we're running so far from that.
There are some people who run from it. You are right. Like I said, there are people who are invested in your family's last name and social currency and the connections, and there are people who are invested in that. But I honestly think that average Joe and man in the streets, yes, we have our hang-ups. Yes, there are people who are entrenched in certain ideologies because that is what they know. But on a very basic level, there are a lot of people who are invested in the human currency because if they weren't, the family court wouldn't be as full as it's full. You know what I mean? In terms of how much heartache and pain that people end up with, etc. In terms of what, you know, we had a prime minister who tell women make better choices, etc., etc. If women were fully invested in solely capitalist exploits, most of us would be walking around here very single, and there would be no children.
Morning, Ojo family. Hey, Jaiga, there's a serious topic, and it's two factors to play here. Women love from the mind, whereas men love from the heart. A man will see a woman and just fall in love with her. A woman will see a man with things and fall in love with him. The other factor to play is that we know the extreme ends of the scale of success and failure benefit the most, because the men that broke, who's sleeping on our mattress and the TV on our big drum, does jam the most women, and the jamming women with money too. And then the men to the top of the scale with their things have options to choose who they love because women are competing for them. So it's a technical thing too. It's not just that why it's happening or from the past. It's ingrained in us to be that way.
Yeah, guy. I'm gonna be honest. Some of what you said we didn't really hear
because we was laughing. Because he say women love from the mind and men love from the heart. So I said, is it really heart or is it the penis? And this fool across from me is like, the penis is part of the heart. How? I just...
It is connected. My head bone connected to my... All I ain't going nowhere.
Disgusted. It's his straight facedness with which he said it.
You have a doctorate in anyway. You can tell me anything.
In anatomy, I am telling you.
My
penis is attached to your
heart.
Wow.
What are you telling me about? It is connected. You cannot tell me otherwise, Abel. My thing connected. Hey.
I just, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going home. Getting like fool in the corner.
The blood
is flowing. The blood is
understand?
flowing. I hate you all. I
Telling
really
me,
do.
how dare you tell me my thing not connected?
That's
to
why
my
when
heart,
only
girl.
take Viagra, let's get heart attack and dead. That's why.
Wow. we always just get low just so.
That is
So,
why.
I can tell you from my personal experience being with my daughter's father, he didn't really have any goals. I made more money than him simply because...
Whoa, let me take that. Love, you need to do this in
Wait,
stages.
hold on. He didn't really have any. So, okay, all right.
Mom, I had to pause there. She said, okay, let me just tell you about my daughter's father. Well, we really didn't have any goals. Okay, let's continue.
Cool. He wasn't working anymore. And everybody has a downtime, but your downtime cannot be almost the entire life.
Ooh.
Right? Wow. So, with that being said, it was a lot of accusations and a lot of insecurity. I was on him, I this, I that. There was a lot. I couldn't take it anymore, and I left. Now, with this situation, I'm in a relationship now, a brand new relationship, and it's an exciting one. Where now I see this man has a plan. I'm still making more money than he does, but he has a plan. Let's do this. Let's do that together, including both our finances, because it's not just me. He has a goal. He has everything in place.
Right.
So my take is, the person that you're with depends on where you're going to get in life. If you're going to be with a broke person, you're probably going to be broke too, because you are the man, yourself, you, the man, and the household. And if only have children, well, boy, that is our next topic.
Especially this time.
So, I mean,
we can all hear the excitement in her
you
voice.
have to know who you're aligning yourself.
Plan.
We know she's having a good time.
What I will also say, though, in terms of having the plan, I just always say idea man and action man could sometimes be two very different men, eh?
True that.
Sometimes it have men, they dreamers, they have the most beautiful plan, or they will sit down under the stars and they will talk and they will drink wine and the sex will be amazing. And 12 years down the road, we still doing that.
Yeah, but the sex amazing, it's just the hell.
But by that time we done married and we have children. And flower going up.
It's amazing. No, but on a real though, and that's the thing.
Do not be bamboozled by peeing, ladies and gentlemen.
There are men
Do not be bamboozled.
Who, I don't want to say blossom, but everybody in their own time.
They blossom?
Everybody in their own time. And there's some men who, as she said, have a plan. You mightn't have the finances in front of you, but it's just as important to know and be prepared for when that finance part of your life changes as well. You know, some people feel as though you can't talk about it because you don't have it. But you have to put your mind in check. And you also have to put your life in check. Because that's why you read all these horror stories about people who win the lotto and then they broke. You know why? Because they never had the foresight. They were never prepared in their mind mentally to understand, okay, in the event that I had a little more than I'm accustomed to, what would I do? How would I do this? When would I do this? Things like that. So, as she said, they are dreamers. There are people who dream, but and for me, you just see it.
You must know.
You just know, you know.
Yeah.
You must see it because I just spam things in months, right? I like to do 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, 6 months. I just and quarterly.
And
I
quarters.
I learn quarters due to school fees, so that's
School fees said, "Oh, I see you trying to do 6 months. That's not how this works."
Yeah,
That's
I
not how
was
this
forced.
works.
I'll be honest. I was forced into living a quarterly lifestyle because of fees, and I've been being fees for a long time.
Aww.
You understand?
I want to feel sorry for you, but remember, your penis is connected to your heart.
To my heart, correct. So my heart is because.
Hey!
Oh,
I mean, I would feel sorry for you, but seeing us all, you know. Hey.
So yeah, that's what I do personally. I kind of measure it quarterly. So you know every 3 months. So that's how you kind of envision how things are going to go. Because you know in the next 3 months, this is what has happened. So you have to prepare for these things. And there's some people who really sail through life. Just not really
gold spoon.
Yeah, not really wanting anything or just just winging it all. I will be honest. We come here many mornings and wing it.
Hey.
But we could wing this here.
It's called
but
experience.
Life is not something you can just wing.
You can't wing life. But let me ask you, if a woman, if Beverly popped up right now, Beverly's gorgeous, Beverly's body's giving, I don't know if but Beverly did not necessarily have what you would consider her things per se. per se. She's not coming with generational wealth yet. She renting, she have her own car, you know. She have some school fees that's still outstanding. But you and Beverly have an amazing chemistry on every level. You having a conversation with Beverly?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, you engaging with Beverly?
I would engage because for me, one of the biggest stimulators to me is great conversation. So if she could do that, we will be able to talk properly.
All right.
But as I always
You bringing
say,
Beverly to live in your place?
and put her away. At the end of the I'm just saying.
And put her where?
No. It will get to that. It will get to that. Because it will make more financial
Your
sense.
bed don't have room?
No, it will make more financial sense if everything is pooled under one roof. But we
Right.
have to understand, I just meet Beverly. I can't meet Beverly today and move
Me didn't
next week.
say moving Beverly next week. That's not what I said.
If what you said is correct and the chemistry is there and we're
Right.
having the right conversations, obviously that will be the direction. I will even propose it because it will make more sense.
Right.
Because you fighting up to pay 5,000, out of which you need me to help you pay, and I am telling you, if you here, we could eliminate that bill. Of course, we can get to that. But for me, I have to have the conversations because, as I said, quarterly, because it's...
What if Beverly have 2 children?
Well, that makes things even more difficult. And sometimes...
Would you engage?
Sometimes you might engage, but in engaging and having the right conversations, you also have to be prepared to say, listen, as much as I love the chemistry we have, holistically, it just can't work.
Okay.
And people need to be prepared to have those conversations as well.
So that's a deal breaker for you. That's
It's
a
not necessary. No,
conditionality.
it's not a deal breaker at all. I'm saying depending on the situation, because you just said if she's already struggling
Right.
with her and her 2 kids by herself. Listen to what I'm saying, right?
right.
Understand what I'm saying. And we sit and have a conversation that us together would not alleviate the struggle. Why go into the struggle?
Well, don't you think that same grace should be extended to women?
I
Which
mean-
is literally what they're saying. Even though they're saying it in ways like
Yeah, but it's
broke man can't get
it's
no nothing.
extended all the time. I'm saying flip the story you just gave.
That's what I'm saying.
Would the woman engage? I am still willing to engage and have the conversation. I know for a fact women will not engage
You
with
know
a
for
man.
a fact women
I'm
will not
telling
engage?
you, they're not going and talk to no man. And from the time the friend, look what Ayana just said. They get all the information from in front. From the time your friend say, "Girl, he had to train. He live in a one boo, but pressure them." Well, she going and hold on to her vagina. She is not going and talk to him. A man might still hear a woman out and try because men always believe that they are savers, right? That's in our
Savior
gene.
complex?
Yeah, we are the savior
Aw.
complex. We always feel like we could save somebody.
Jesus.
So, oh, Jesus, you. So a man might say, let me still listen. Just in case I ain't get the full story, or just in case I might be able to help here. So a man will go in with that mindset.
Yes.
Women don't do that.
Aw.
Because we have a heart.
Good
Our heart, the
Samaritan.
connection. Remember the
Look at
connection.
you.
Remember the connection of the heart, Abby.
Good Samaritan.
Abby, remember the connection of the heart.
Just good Samaritan. The point is, everybody has their conditionalities. We understand, and I always say it, there can be multiple truths operating at the same time. So we understand the historical and the social context. That is an absolute truth in terms of certain things we need to talk about, of how we commoditize bodies and people's personhood and how we value people. That's one thing. But then the other truth is everybody has conditionalities across the board, and ways and reasons why they will engage and reasons why they will not engage. And I don't think you could say with absolute certainty that a woman would not necessarily engage.
Okay, point. And also, let me say, I take accountability when things go sideways, but I will say too that there's no value for peace of mind. And there are some situations where it might look to us on the outside like chaos, but the people who live in it,
They happy like papi.
they're happy like that.
They have
And we
12
also-
children in the house.
we
He make
also-
4, she make the rest.
And we also have to respect that as
Yes.
well.
And
You understand?
everybody is deserving of companionship and union if that is what they choose, regardless.
With who they choose.
With who they choose, regardless of what their bank account look like. And yes, we can have conversations about why there are certain families, particularly of certain demographics, economic and ethnic, that end up being dependent on the state and things are hard, etc., etc. We can talk about, and we cannot have conversations in abstraction. We can't pretend that certain things don't exist, which is why those conversations have to happen. But those people, even though they're catching their nenen are also deserving of love and companionship.
Lily seek Christ. That's all I'll tell
God,
you.
what she
Seek
do?
a higher power.
Let me see. She must be sending it to me.
So I make up wrong then, because my heart is where I say I'm an artist too. So she make up wrong. So it's all
see, and this is right. Someone here is saying marriage is always a business arrangement between families. The idea of marriage for love is relatively recent. It's true. Because arranged marriage was a thing for a very, very long time. Even right here in Trinidad.
Yeah, of course.
You couldn't just ups and decide you want to marry to one. So you have to go and ask your father and your mother. And you have to have a conversation. And ting.
I have people father saying no.
No, flat out no. It have no. And when you say no, and then you feel you fast and you fresh and you gonna and married up the boy anyway, just know you have nothing to get from any of the families. It is a business arrangement.
And people who married for love has been disowned and comfortable with that space too.
And then when we talk about the fact that it is a business arrangement, we also have to consider, therefore, since the institution of marriage really is a business arrangement, who does the institution of marriage actually benefit more? That's another conversation. And we will be here till next week.
Yeah. We don't have all that time. All I would tell you guys is the weekend. Let your heart lead you in the right place, guys.
Gentlemen, disconnect your penis from your heart this weekend. I beg of you. Because Enfamil is $280. It's in. Okay? And it lasts a week. So disconnect your penis from your heart. Okay? Yeah.
Hey, do all you have to do, my brother. You understand? Don't let them guide you wrong. If your heart say that, go where your heart goes. Lead with love, my dear friend.
Lead with love.
Lead with love, my dear friend.
Lead with love. That sounded very fishy now that we know what is connected to what, eh?
Lead with love, my dear friend.
Play 2 more and then we're done. 2 more.
No, we can't. We have to go here. We can't.
Okay.
You have that to do.
Oh, yeah. We will be able to. It's true.
All right, guys, it's been fun. But bottom line is, on a real note, no joke and kicks thing here, everybody deserves love in some form and fashion.
You do.
Right? Everyone.
And you also have the right to choose who you want to love. Right?
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
So, with that being said, it's time for this.